be having. But before understanding computer memory, we have to understand how exactly hardware look like. So I'll be showing you few videos. You just see that one, and after that one, you can just check what are the different components of the computer. Is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let us see now. This is SMPS, switch mode power supply, which is converting AC into DC, alternating current into direct current. This is your motherboard. This is your processor fan. These are the cables which are going to be connected on the motherboard as well as to the peripheral devices. This red cable is called as SATA cable, Serial Advanced Technology Attachment Pin Interconnection. This is power connector. This is hard disk drive. Now the hard disk drive is SATA hard disk drive, which is connected now. After that, this is a power cable for the SATA hard disk drive. This entire rectangular, this one is RAM, random access memory. This is a chip. This is another chip of or strip of random access memory. Here we are going to fit graphics card by removing this metallic object or plate. Now here we are fitting a graphics card. This is entry level graphics card, not so heavy graphics card, hardly costing near about 6 to 7,000 rupees. The board is of MSI company motherboard, so called parent board. Now the graphics card is launched. To this graphics card, if any external power supply is required, if it is heavy graphics card, then you'll require to have extra power supply for the fan, cooling and operations. This is SSD, solid state drive. This solid state drive is also SATA oriented. Power connector is connected to that now. This is how the components of the computer looking like. So somebody has asked a question. Let us see what he want to ask. Okay. Yes, Prasad. Prasad sir. Prasad
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Actually, I was thinking might be a student is there. That's why.
No, that's fine.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Now my lecture is there, sir.
Is it so, sir? Today is Wednesday, na, sir?
Yeah.
Just 1 minute, sir. Maybe I have done a mistake. Wednesday, sir, 10 to 11, sir. 7th March. Hello, sir. Prasad, sir.
Is this a updated one?
Yes, 7th. From 7th, sir. 7th March 2022.
Let me see at my end, sir. Chalo, sir. No issues. You can continue, sir.
If you want to take, then I will just quit, sir. No problem. Because you may have prepared. I'm also confused. Is it the updated one or not?
Because it's supposed to be mine. Let me see once again, sir.
Please, sir.
Yeah. So you can continue on. I made some word mistake. I saw something else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No problem, sir. Shall I continue then, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Then thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. So, student, you got it? How? What are the different components of the computer?
Yes, sir, got it.
Yes.
Any queries? Any queries you want to ask?
No, sir.
No.
Anybody is having gaming PC? Gaming computer? Nobody? Okay.
Savishak.
Vaishak. Okay. Piyush is also having.
Vaishak and Varad.
Varad, Vaishak and Piyush. 3 students are there. Okay. By the way, I would like to ask one small question. I hope that all the students from this division do have laptop. Have you purchased laptop? If not,
Yes, sir.
then
Yes,
for
sir.
practical
Yes.
in the computer lab, you won't have any computer. You have to bring your laptop, huh?
Okay,
So
sir.
please type in the chat box those who are not having laptop. Within 1 week, I want laptop, huh? So type over there in the chat box, please. Those who are not having laptop, come on. You already has got the information from Banerjee sir that while coming, you should have laptop. Otherwise, we are not able to perform the practicals. Then I will tell you what are all softwares you require to install it. Any student who's not having laptop, please type over there. Sir, I have my computer in the hostel. But for practicals, how you are going to bring that computer over here, Paras? Paras, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
For practicals in the lab, you will require to have your own laptop. It was made mandatory before admission only that you'll require to have a laptop. So in the lab, how you are going to perform then, Paras?
So
After the-
people have issued laptops already from the admin office, right?
Pardon?
So people have issued laptops from the admin office before, right?
No,
So
no,
I-
that was only for the examination. That was on the rent base. Rent basis, it was being taken on rent, and after that it will be returned. It's not a permanent thing. Paras.
Yes, sir.
Next week we are going to start practicals. That time, if you don't have laptop, then we are also helpless, huh, to help you.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'll manage.
Okay, please.
Yes,
Thanks, Paras. Next one, anybody else? Please type in the chat box, or you can personally WhatsApp me if you don't want to type over there in the chat box. You are having 1 minute time. Please do that quickly, because from next week onwards, we'll be starting full-fledged practicals also. Come on. Open your WhatsApp. ठीक है, चलो. जिनके पास लैपटॉप है, let us have a count. How many of you are having laptop? Come on, tell me. One by one, we will go. Om Priyam. Om, can you hear me? Okay, Om, na? Next one, Parth Chaturvedi. Parth, do you have laptop?
Yes, sir, he has a laptop.
Okay. Next one, Aryan. Aryan, do you have a laptop?
Sir, he have laptop.
But why is not talking then? Any problem? या मौन व्रत रखा है उसने? Then next one is Paras. Okay, he told me that he will manage. Nilesh.
Yes, sir. I have a laptop.
Okay, thank you. आहे म्हणजे तुझ्यापाशी लॅपटॉप. Next one, Piyush Kumar.
Yes, sir.
लॅपटॉप है?
Yes, sir.
Done. Piyush Singh.
Yes, sir.
Done. Thank you. Pritam Kumar Das.
Yes, sir.
लैपटॉप है ना प्रीतम? Done. Very good. Ahad.
Yes, sir. I have a laptop.
Okay. Raju Kumar. Thank you. Ranbir.
Yes, sir. I have also.
Done. Ritul Singh.
Yes, sir, I have a laptop.
Okay. Saharsh.
Yes, sir, I have a laptop.
Good. Then Sakar Mathur. Sakar.
Yes, sir.
लैपटॉप है ना साकर तुम्हारे पास?
हाँ, sir.
Okay. Sarthak Narang has left the college. Sarthak Sinha.
Yes, sir. I have one.
Okay. Soumya.
Yes, sir, I have a laptop.
Okay. Selvalinga. RJ.
Yes, sir.
What? Yes or no? Do you
I
have
have a laptop, sir.
Okay, Selvalinga. Divanshu. Divanshu.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a laptop?
Yes, sir. I have a laptop.
Done. Next one, Shetty Varad. Varad, what about you?
Yes, sir, he have.
Okay, done. Shivansh Arora.
Yes, sir. I have a laptop.
Okay, done. Shreyansh Kaushik. Shreyansh,
Yes, sir. He has.
done. Simardeep. Simardeep, please reply. Simardeep. Hello. Okay. सोनटक के मकरंद.
Yes, sir. I have.
Okay, ठीक है. सुमेध ढगे.
Yes, sir. I have got a laptop.
You are from where, Sumed?
Sir, I'm from Wardha, Nagpur, sir.
Is there anybody over here in Talegaon? You know?
No, sir.
Okay. Sumit Joshi.
Yes, sir. I have a laptop.
Yeah, you are having a laptop. Supare Sahir.
Yes, sir. I have.
Swastik
Yes, sir, I'm having a laptop.
Tamboli Faisal.
Yes, sir. I am having laptop.
Good. Tejas. Tejas, can you hear me? Reno. Will you
Yes,
please
sir. I
tell
have
me?
a laptop.
Done. Thank you. Tushar.
Yes, sir. I have a laptop.
Uday Man. Uday.
Yes, sir.
Done. Vaishak.
Yes, sir, I have a laptop.
Done. Vaishnav.
Yes, sir. Having a laptop.
Done. Yaduvar.
Yes, sir, I have one.
Yanam Sahil. Sahil. Sahil, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, he has a laptop, sir.
Okay. Yudhajit.
Yes, sir. I do have a laptop.
Yuvraj Singh. Both the Yuvraj Singh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have a laptop.
Done. Thank you. So only few people are remaining. That is Tejas, Simardeep.
Sir, Tejas has a laptop, sir.
Tejas has a laptop.
Okay,
Yes.
done.
Simardeep also has a
Sir,
laptop.
Simardeep also has a laptop.
Done. मतलब सभी के पास लैपटॉप है, खाली हमारे पास पारस है, पारस के पास डेस्कटॉप कंप्यूटर है. We have to make some जुगाड़. Okay. पारस.
Yes, sir. I'll mark, sir. I'll look into it.
Okay. Simardeep, sir, I also have laptop. Okay, Simardeep has replied. No issues, no problem. So that was very much important. What about Om Priyam? Anybody is knowing whether he's having computer or not, laptop? Om Priyam,
Yes, sir, he has a
Yes, sir,
laptop.
he has.
Okay. Means only Paras is remaining. I hope that Paras is making some kind of arrangement. Done. Okay. So let us start now. Shall we?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What had we studied in the previous session? Come on, tell me.
So binary
Binary
numbers
to
and
hexadecimal.
conversion of them into decimal,
Simply
hexadecimal, BCD, gray code. A recap.
Okay. How to convert? How to have a gray code?
So keeping the first digit as it is, then adding them. And when we need to add.
one and
And,
carry.
and discarding carry. That's correct, Yudaji. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. What about ASCII? Who is going to tell me what is ASCII value? ASCII value. Come on. Nobody. Oh, that is great.
The American Standard Code for
Okay. This is done. So let us start one by one. Here we are having computer memory. This is the second unit. This unit will be carrying almost 20 marks. Okay. So let us see. So first point, during the examination, what kind of question can be asked? I'll just explain it over here. So why the pen is not working? Stylus should work. Just give me 1 second, students. I'm just changing the battery of the stylus.
Okay, sir.
All the stylus do have lithium ion batteries, and after certain duration you need to replace the battery. Let us see whether it is working or not now. Yeah, it's working perfectly fine. Okay, let's make it bit thicker. Okay, done. So such a question will be asked for 10 marks. Remember this. What do you mean by memory and what are different types of memory? Explain in detail. Okay, this is analysis oriented question. What do you mean by memory? What are different types of memory? Explain in detail. 10 marks. Okay, so in today's session we will be seeing these points. So what are these points? One by one. So whenever you are seeing memory hierarchy, okay, so this is divided into different components. Storage devices, here we are having secondary memory. Permanent storage means even after the power is off, the data is not removed, it remains over there. And this is called as temporary memory, in which you are having cache memory, cache level 1, level 2, level 3 memory. Then RAM is also there, physical memory and virtual memory. And finally, the fastest memory in the world is called as CPU register memory. Okay. So these are the different types of memory categories. Okay. So let us see one by one now. Let us see the tree diagram of that one, how this is being classified. So memory is classified into following categories. How this is being classified, let us see. Here, memory is divided into primary memory and secondary memory. Here in between we are having cache memory. Sometimes cache memory is termed as primary memory only, but we are just classifying it further. After that, in primary memory you are having RAM, read, that is random access memory, and this is ROM, read only memory. That RAM is called as volatile memory. This is temporary memory and main memory. This ROM is called as non-volatile memory, permanent memory, and non-volatile, permanent, and what else? That's all. Okay. So in case of this ROM, it is further classified into erasable read-only memory, programmable read-only memory, erasable programmable read-only memory, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. These are the types of ROM. In case of RAM, whenever we are talking about RAM, we are having SRAM, static RAM. That static RAM is having this cache memory. This cache memory is part of static RAM only. So DRAM, dynamic RAM. The dynamic RAM is further divided into different categories like SDRAM, synchronous dynamic random access of memory, RDRAM, rhombus dynamic random access of memory, then SDRD. Then we will be having DDR, DDR1, DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, dual data rate or double data rate random access of memory. Then we are having SVG RAM also, SVG RAM. This is also there, which is used in graphics card. Now DDR5 is also there, which is used in graphics cards only, like NVIDIA graphics card and all. So these are all RAM, random access of memory, which are volatile in nature. What does it mean? Whenever you are switching off the computer, then this RAM data is lost completely. So this is not permanent to store. Okay. What matters whenever you are talking about the speed of the computer, which is dependent on three components. One is your microprocessor. This is your microprocessor. Second one is your RAM. Okay. And third one is your hard disk drive, whether it is normal hard disk drive or solid state hard disk drive. If it is solid state hard disk drive, it will be 20 times faster as compared to the normal hard disk drive mechanism. Anybody want to ask any question? Please go ahead. Hello.
No, sir.
So as far as this
So
secondary
what is EEPROM?
EEPROM, this is nothing but electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Means you can erase that. So you know, in card we are having motherboard. That motherboard controller will be deciding, okay, the dashboard related things and console related things, everything is there, and car related activities. That ROM is PROM, programmable read-only memory. But sometime nowadays in Kia and Maruti Suzuki Tata, they are using EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, where the programming is being done.
So
Now,
if it is erasable, so how is it permanent?
which one?
The ROM.
Yeah, that's good. Very good question. See here, permanent means what? Until and unless anybody else, external factor is changing the data, it remains over there. Okay, intact. Suppose if it is having this value, suppose like this, after without altering it for thousands of years, it will remain as it is. That's why it is permanent. But if you are considering RAM, whenever you are switching off the computer, all the data is lost, completely lost. You will not get it. Clear?
Yes, sir.
That's why it is called as permanent memory. Permanent means until and unless the user is modifying, it remains over there. Even if you are switching off the computer, even if you are switching power off for that particular device, smartphone, whatever it is, it remains over there. That's why it is called as permanent. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Any queries, please? Good question. Okay, let's move ahead then. Here we are having magnetic storage in secondary. Secondary is always called as the permanent memory. Remember that, permanent memory. Non-volatile memory. What is that? Non-volatile memory. All the names are same. So it is further divided into magnetic drives, and second one is optical drives. So these magnetic drives are nothing but your hard disk drives. Okay, floppy disk drives and zip drives, tape drives. Long ago, you may be hearing song on audio cassettes. You know audio cassette?
Yes,
Like
sir.
Yes, sir.
this was an audio cassette. That is also magnetic storage device, secondary memory. Okay, this is also called as secondary memory. I hope that this point of secondary memory is clear. So audio cassette, then tape drives, hard disk drives, floppy disk drives, zip drives, they are called as what? Magnetic storage devices. But why we are calling it as a magnetic storage devices? Because we are using induced magnetic poles and ferromagnetic substances to store the information in the form of what? North pole, south pole, which is logically equal to 1, south pole, north pole, which is logically equal to 0. This is how we are storing the information in the form of induced magnetic poles on hard disk drives. Okay, that's why this is magnetic one. Okay, तो हार्ड डिस्क पे हम zeros and one स्टोर नहीं करते. कंप्यूटर 0 and 1 एक्चुअली कंप्यूटर को भी समझ में नहीं आता. कंप्यूटर में जो भी हम 0 and 1 है ना, उसको हम लॉजिकल बोलते हैं. दिस इज नॉट फिजिकल. एक्चुअली कंप्यूटर क्या करता है, वोल्टेज डिफरेंस को लॉजिकल 0 and 1 कहा जाता है. एम्पलीट्यूड. कैन यू सी हियर फुल वेव रेक्टिफिकेशन? हेलो.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is a rectifier. You may be knowing rectifier, full wave rectifier, half wave rectifier. Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that rectifier diode circuit, whenever you are using this is logical 1, logical 0, logical 1, logical 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, something like that. This is how the computer understands zeros and ones. But actually, this is not exactly what we are assuming. Okay. This is a logical terminology for our understanding only. We are saying computer understands zeros and ones. But computer understands actually what? That DC power supply, train of binary pulses, that is nothing but a square wave. That is 0 and 1. In case of magnetic storage devices, we are storing the information in the form of North Pole, South Pole, logical 0, South Pole, North Pole, logical 1. And after that, one more category is there. How do we store the information? On the optical drives. On optical drives, we are using laser. What is that? Laser technology. Light amplifications by stimulated emission of radiation. So in that one, we are having CD, compact disc. The second one is DVD, digital versatile disc, and SVCD, this is synchronous video compact disc. Along with that one, we are now having Blu-ray disc. Have you heard anything about Blu-ray disc, which stores almost 200 GB of data or
Yes.
more than that? It
Yes,
is just like CD only, but very huge capacity, multi-layered DVD is there. And that's why we can store up to 200 to 300 GBs of data on a Blu-ray disc, but it is very, very, very expensive. Nowadays, this CD, DVD, and everything is becoming absolute. Now, the new cloud-related architecture is there, and because of that one, I don't think now anybody is downloading audio songs. Everybody is having subscription of Amazon Prime or iTunes or so-called Ghana.com, these falana. Or for movies also, you will be watching a movie with web applications only, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move ahead. Now this primary memory is divided into different categories that we have seen. DRAM, SRAM, PROM, EPROM, and all these things are done. So in the memory, which is the fastest memory in the world? I already told you, come on, tell me.
SSD.
No, register memory.
CPU register.
Yeah, CPU register is the fastest memory in the world. Okay, but it requires lots and lots of power. And second thing is that it's very, very expensive. We cannot afford it to have in GBs. Register memory is in KB, kilobytes. Very, very expensive in nature. That's why generally we cannot have register memory in huge quantity. Done it. Then next one is random access of memory. Why we are calling it as a random access? Because you can access any location of the memory as and when required. Very fast, very quick, dynamically you are accessing. That's why it is called as dynamic random access of memory. Second one is static random access of memory. What is the difference between these two, dynamic access and static? Is this that static RAM requires refresh after certain duration, but do not require refresh in static RAM. And dynamic RAM, you require a refresh after certain duration. This is the main difference between static RAM and dynamic RAM. But which one is the fastest one? Definitely static RAM will be the fastest one. Which is the best example for static RAM? Cache memory is the best example for this. So you can see over here, these are the characteristics of static RAM based on flip-flops. What is that flip-flop? Just remember this word right now because it is reflected in electronics part. Flip-flop, JK flip-flop, SR flip-flop. If we start, we will require 10 hours to explain all these things. Right now, you just understand flip-flop is a concept where you are storing the information in the form of zeros and ones. Contents, okay? Each location persists as long as the power is applied. Once the power is off, the data is lost. That's why every RAM is called as volatile memory. RAM, every type of RAM is called as volatile memory. It is very fast, but relatively large. Consumes lots and lots of power. Used for memory applications that are small but fast. जब भी आपको कोई भी एप्लीकेशन का परफॉर्मेंस बहुत अच्छा चाहिए, that time you will be using this static RAM. And generally this static RAM is supported by the microprocessors depending upon L1, L2, L3 levels of cache memory. Now dynamic RAM is huge in size. It always requires refresh, and the data is stored in the form of capacitors over there. Okay. And DRAMs are features of that one. It is smaller in size, slower than SRAMs, and supports low cost, low power, and high density. That's why this is very, very, very popular in usage. And the performance of that one, though there is a degrade in the performance, that doesn't matter, but RAM matters a lot over here. That's why in huge quantity, whenever we are using, RAM is being utilized. DDR4 and DDR5 right now, currently in the market, it is being used. Okay, so you can see over here, during read operation, multiplexers are used, and during write operation, demultiplexers are used. This is feature of RAM grid. After that one, read-only memory is there. Already we have seen what are different types of ROMs. PROM, programmable read-only memory, erasable programmable read-only memory, and electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. These are the different categories of the ROM, sorry. And in ROM, one more category is there that is called as flash memory. This is also electrically erasable programmable read-only memory only. That is permanent in nature, non-volatile in nature. Okay. इस फ्लैश मेमोरी को ही हम पेन ड्राइव के नाम से जानते हैं. Have you heard anything about pen drive?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Flash memory is pen drive. Next one, even SSD. Now mark this question as very, 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 very important. For 4 marks to 5 marks, this question will be sure for in the comprehensive examination. Remember this. Can you see that? Take a snapshot of this one. Very important. I'm sharing the notes also as soon as this class is over. Don't worry about it. Notes you will be getting. Everything you'll be getting. Conditions is applied that you have to study it, read it carefully. Who is going to read it? One by one. Paras, read the first point. Paras.
Yes, sir. So basic, it is a read-write memory for RAM, and for ROM, it is read-only memory.
Okay. Next one, please. Om Priyam. Okay. Paras, please continue. Everybody read
Yes,
it.
sir. The uses for RAM are used to store data that has to be currently processed by CPU temporarily. For ROM, it stores the instructions required during the bootstrap of the computer. Volatility, it is a volatile memory for RAM, and for ROM, it is a non-volatile memory. It stands for random access memory, and for ROM, it stands for read-only memory. Modification, data in RAM can be modified and data in ROM cannot be modified. Capacity RAM sizes for 64 MB from 64 MB to 4 GB. For ROM is comparatively smaller than RAM. Cost, RAM is a costlier memory, and ROM is comparatively cheaper than RAM. Types of RAM are static RAM and dynamic RAM. Types of ROM are PROM, CROM, EPROM, and EEP ROM.
That's good. Very good, Paras. Thank you. Thank you so much. One more difference will be asked in the examination, that is difference between DRAM and SRAM. Who is going to talk? Nilesh, can you? Ya fir Bharat? Anybody? Nilesh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Will you please read it?
DRAM,
Only to memorize. That's why I'm not explaining much about it. Yeah, please.
DRAM and SRAM. DRAM constructed of tiny capacitors that leak electricity. SRAM constructed of circuits similar to D flip-flops. DRAM requires a recharge very few milliseconds to mention its data. SRAM holds its contents as long as power is available. DRAM expensive and SRAM is inexpensive DRAM. Sorry, DRAM slower than SRAM. SRAM faster than DRAM. DRAM can store many bits per chip. SRAM cannot store many bits per chip. DRAM uses less power. SRAM uses more power. DRAM generates less heat, and SRAM generates more heat. DRAM used for main memory, and SRAM is used for
Cache memory.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, then thank you so much. So this is how these are the distinguishing points between memory related things. We have seen memory classification. What kind of question will be asked? 10 marks question. I'm typing over there in the chat box. Make use of it and store it somewhere. This is very important question. What do you mean by what? Memory. Mean by. What are different types of memory? Explain in detail. This is the question. Okay. So next point will be softwares that we'll be covering in the next class. Don't worry about it. It will not be over bombardment. In that one, these are the important questions: system software and application software. And after that, we'll be having high level, different types of programming languages. Once it is done, second unit is over. Okay. Then afterwards, we'll be moving ahead towards the third unit. Everybody got it? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So shall I share these notes with you, or shall I upload
Yes,
it
sir.
on Moodle? LMS?
Upload on Moodle.
Okay. Then I'll upload it today only. Okay. Now let's take attendance. CR, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Please tell me who are all absent. 39 means one student is absent.
So 070.
070. Who is this? Tejas. Is it Tejas?
Yes, sir.
Any problem? What happened to him?
Actually, he's in sick bay, sir.
What happened? क्या हुआ है उसको?
Some problem in leg, sir. I said blisters in leg.
Okay. ठीक है. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. जल्दी ठीक हो जाओ. Have you got the circular, new circular of DG? The classes will be starting offline. Hello.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah, from next week the classes are starting offline, most probably, because for marine engineering we got the circular also. So from next week onwards the classes will be offline. And one thing I would like to ask you, is it a hectic schedule that you are facing right now? Because morning classes are there and afternoon you'll be having practicals. How you are going to manage it then?
Yes, sir.
Practicals are
Are-
best.
is it a hectic schedule for you? I'm asking you. What are the problems you are facing? I don't think that you will be getting a time for study. The afternoon, how much time the practical is there?
So
Sir,
from
2
today,
to 6.
2 to 6.
so from today 3:30 to 7:30.
3:30 to 7:30.